This is Prasarita Padottanasana. And this pose can be done if you don't want to do it from the chair as this fold. And though you might know resting your head and adding rotation, we will do it with the chair. And if for any reason your chair does not give you access to that, the shape of your chair, then please do that pose without the chair. So the blocks might be useful under your feet in case you need them to accommodate your length, the frame length of your bones relative to the chair. And I'm going to come up and over. So I want to be in this fold of my hip. And for being a little bit shorter, I need the blocks. That will really help me. I'm trying to adjust where they are under my feet. And now we have traction. I can let my forehead rest against the edge of the chair with a bolster, and I can reach my arms and wow, I have this traction. So if what you find is that you really like this place, it quiets the nervous system, it gives great traction to the lumbar spine, then please do this. Stay here. And if what you know is that you really enjoy twist in this pose, then put one hand at the side or the back of the chair, and the other arm can rest across the seat of the chair. And you can go back to that push-pull relationship that we find in the twist. Whatever you do, think about how your head is continuing to extend the spine and bearing into your inner heels, making it so that your legs contribute to what is happening for the rest of your body. Inhale, put your hands in the seat of the chair, look ahead, pull down and back, keep length in your torso. Lower yourself again, don't give away the length of your spine. Bring one arm across, take the other one to that side of the chair and continue with rotation. Notice if your body begins to show its habits. If you lift one heel, that might belong to a tighter set of hamstrings. If you adjust or curl with a shoulder in a certain way, just notice and undo the habits that don't serve you. Allow the anchoring of the heels. Notice how one side of the rib cage is more willing in this twist. And then inhale and come out of it. Same idea, please press down and back. Great, so if you worked too hard in that back bend we did before, this is a wonderful recovery. Take the time, come unfolding, feel the length, step down. I'm going to look at my notes and make sure that we stay together and what we are aiming to do. And we're going to use this setup and we're going to continue to use all of what's around us. All right? So at first, I want to come and drape myself over, and I'm using the bolster to give me a little bit more height, but to make the surface of the chair less hard. And you might decide that if you don't have a bolster, that you're just going to use a blanket over the edge of the chair. So here we go. I want to come and have this side bend. So notice how today we've used some side bending to be accessing some length. And notice how my feet came off the floor. What I really want is to be able to let my legs hang and reach. And I want to be able to come down and let my side body have traction. Now, what I want to make sure is that if you find that your head needs support, that your bottom hand can just come and do that. And notice that I left my block here. So if what you really, really want is a little bit more help with that, then you can park your elbow at your block and you can park your hand at your underneath your head, and you've supported your neck. But for the most part, I allow my head to come into this, and I adjust depending on the angle. All right. So taking that top arm overhead adds more value to the side stretch. Turning that top hand, palm up, and turning my head and looking up toward the ceiling adds an element of back bend. Taking the bottom foot and hooking it over the top ankle and bearing down adds more of an opening through the side body. How about that? So it's so wonderful to use the chair for traction. Just take a deep breath and enjoy this place. You can back off in any of those aspects and then release. Now, to come out of this and to continue using what we worked on, I want you to put your hand down, stack your hips if you had taken on that little bit of a back bend, press yourself up, and slide down enough to swing that top leg forward and have the hip set. So I have the top of my thigh almost resting at the chair, so that the chair gives a little bit of support. And I want to come and fold. I want to walk that front foot further. And I want to come and fold and take the arms to the block. And if I didn't have the chair, I'd have a whole lot more weight in the front leg. My back foot is propped in such a way, and I can't see it right now, but my toes are on the floor and my heel is off. And I made it so that my chest can rest on the chair. Now, yours might not be, if your fold is not that deep, and it's okay. If you have a super big bolster, it'll hold you a little higher, and that's only good. There's nothing wrong with that. But where I'd like for us to go is to adjust with that block. I have to turn it so that I can stay with it. And then to take the outside arm, the one that belongs to my front leg, I'm going to take it behind me, and then I'm going to turn. And if you didn't have the chair and you were doing this pose, it would be just fine. But here there is support. You can see the edge of my chair right at the fold of the hip, at the front of the thigh, and it helps me stay with an opening through the front body, and it gives me permission to keep wiggling that front foot without overdoing in what's happening in this hip. I can stay longer. There's this great outer line stretch. What you know of yourself is that perhaps you might like to turn in this revolved side angle pose. You might want to keep using that bottom hand. And then equally, you can use any aspect of the chair to come. So I let my forearm come and rest and catch the chair and keep reaching. Any of that, right? Stay one more breath. The whole point at the beginning was traction, was to create length. As you inhale, come on back. As you exhale, use the chair. Push your hands in, wiggle that front leg back. Come and sit. It's a wonderful recovery. Come and stand. You might feel longer in some places in your body. Let's do all of that on the other side. So here we go. I have my other block at the other side. I just want this one out of the way from underneath my feet. And I'm gonna find just how far into the chair I need to be so I can come and drape my side body, right? I want to be able to have this side body stretch. Wow, right? Then want to check out and notice, turning the head up. Deciding if what I want to do is hold the weight of the head, or if on this side I need help from that block. So the elbow is parked on the block My hand is able to rest on it and hold my head. All of that may count. Turning the top hand palm up. But taking that bottom leg and hooking at the ankle and pulling down. So there's this greater side body stretch. Think length. There's a lot that we can do here. If this is new to you, this is just an introduction of the sensation, how to get into this position, feeling where there is support, watching where your breath goes. And then easing out of it. So I can undo, rotate, slide off, work in the reverse, and use the support underneath me to come and shift and place that outside leg forward. And I'm trying not to give away this length of the torso. So I want to walk in, allow the chair to support right at the front of the top of the thigh, and come into this long lunge. Yep. Where am I taking that leg? How I'm hugging into the chair, how the back foot is useful, right? I'm pressing into the toes. And I can keep this elongated position and come into revolved side-ended pose. I can come and work from here and it would be just fine. Keep playing with the position of your feet, make this right for you. I'm using the front leg, I'm hugging the chair. I'm bearing into that back foot and I have the support of the chair underneath me that gives me more length in the areas that can stand to lengthen. If what you know is using the chair, pulling in, and what you prefer is reaching out, there are lots of ways to use the chair. Try to build time in all the places you explore. Notice how your body is on. Breathe. Notice what opens to you. And then slowly out of it. I'm going to sit and I'm going to stand. I hope you feel longer now.